Welcome to talking about condominium and property association violations. These are super important. There's 2 acts in Virginia that requires the seller to deliver to you the resale certificate in the instance of a condominium and package in the instance of an HOA corporation to tell you about what is happening in that community. When you buy into a community that has one of these associations, you are going to sign an affidavit at closing that says that you're going to abide by their rules. And with that, it can be enforced, and if it's a problem, it can be expensive. Once you're into that contract and you're delivered those informations, those documents, which can be up to about 350 pages long, you as the purchaser will have 72 hours to go through all of that documentation and make sure that you're okay with living by those bylaws, covenants, etc. Among all of the things that is included within this packet, one specific thing is important and we're going to pay super close attention to, and that is the violations section. There are rules and regulations that each unit in a condominium instance or home in a HOA instance must adhere to, and if they don't, they're going to be issued notice of violation. This can include things like paint color of the back of the house, maintenance of the house, whether there's dry rot, needs to be power washed. It can be deck and material, lighting fixtures on the outside, all things that are a big deal and that need to be corrected before closing. In the contract, the seller is supposed to convey marketable, insurable, and clear title so that you can take that property with no problems to it as far as we know at the time of closing. If there are violations on the property, it is no longer a insurable and marketable property. Therefore, the seller must bring those back into compliance prior to going to closing. So let's talk about some tips. If you're selling a property, before you ever go on the market, the day you sign your listing appointment, jump online and order your condominium or property owners association resale documents immediately. They have 14 days by law to get them to you. You'll know right up front whether or not you have violations long before you ever go on the market, and you can start to work to cure those violations so that you're in compliance by the time your buyer comes along. The second tip is for the purchasers. If those violations, or you miss those violations, and you close on that property with those violations, you are now responsible to cure those violations. And because notice has already been given, those violations may also end up with a hefty fine attached to them. So work with your agent to make sure that you've walked through all of this, anything identified has been appropriately cured, and then proceed to your closing at that point. For more information about condominium and property owners association violations, resale packages, or anything within those packets, contact the Focus on Nova team today.